All right. And good evening, everybody, and happy Labor Day to everybody out there. And this is Fowl Territory 325. It is the first day of September 2025. So, welcome to the show. Let's see who is out there this evening. I'm seeing John Z, Disability, is out there. Also, Gun Websites. And we have Alex Parlin in the audience, also Gunpowder Beauty. Alaska One, Andy is out there. Mr. Bob Dabalina is out there. Vulcan Rumble is in the audience. Also, from Down Under, TJ Fishing. He did come from a land down under. All right. Where women glow and men plunder. Scott Nearing is out there also. So, and looks like we have J Delta 22NC, also Ron 2A Matters is out there. So, I need to do this. Maybe I better not. Let's not do that. Think, Gary. So, anyway, we do have one panelist this evening, so let's go ahead and bring him on the show. Let's say hello to Rich White of the Unloaded Media Channel. Good evening.
Yo,
what is up?
craziness all over the place.
So, it's hard for people like you and me who don't labor to really enjoy Labor Day.
Right.
What's the day off? I get every day off. What's the point? So,
sometimes going through X seems like a job. I mean, it's a labor to bear with some of those morons on there.
So, for everybody watching on YouTube, also on Twitch, the giveaway is active, and the code to enter for that giveaway is !FT325. You can enter on YouTube and or Twitch. If you have both, go for it, as far as I'm concerned. So, but hello to everybody out there on the alternate platforms. YouTube is our primary platform. We are also streaming on Facebook, on X.com, and on Twitch on the Gizzard Gary channels on each. So, if you're out there, say hi in the chat. And see what's going on. How many people? We got 3 people in the giveaway so far. So, that's pretty good odds if we don't have anybody else come in here. So,
Do it now.
yeah, all right. Okay, so gun websites just came in. And I do believe, I just got a message from somebody. Somebody by the name of Blind Guy Photography just sent me a message. I have a feeling he might be coming in here pretty soon. So, okay, so we got lots of entries. Got 4 entries in the giveaway now. We'll keep going. You got quite a ways to go yet before we're going to draw for the grand prize this evening. And of course, well, speaking of the devil, let's say hello to Guns and Barbecue. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
Man, it's just a great day. Happy Labor Day to you.
Happy Labor Day to you. Am I just in time to ruin the show?
There isn't much of a show to ruin, to be honest with you.
Well, hot damn.
We were just talking about, Rich riding either one labor, so Labor Day doesn't mean much to us. And so far, we got 3 people on the panel. None of us have 9 to 5 jobs. So
That's true. I say, at least you and I go to the gym. At least, Gary, we could say we labor over that. I just sent you in not Gorn in case you need time to kill later. I labor over a lot of that. Actually, I'm getting ready to go labor that while we do this show. So, I mean, there's still laboring that's going on.
Yeah, I told
sleigh bells going on in the background. Or?
That's one of the cats playing with one of their little toy balls, ones that have the bell in it.
I'd say a lot of my laboring goes on in a volunteer capacity these days, between wrestling and now flag football and 99% of the photography work I do is, just charity at the end of the day, because it's just for all the individual youth organizations around here that I just go and take shots for.
I want to say hello to Ozzy Orsborn, barking at the moon out there. So, got
Meow.
13 people. Meow?
I don't know if that ball has catnip in it or what. That cat is going crazy right now.
That's too bad. Let's see. Yeah, Alex Parlin's got his code in. I just let everybody know they could enter on Twitch if they so chose. We haven't had anybody do so yet.
Is Jacob S. not out there?
Jacob S. is not here yet.
Oh.
So anyway.
Have the gates to hell frozen?
I think so.
Maybe.
So I found a really nice, fun news article for us to read tonight. You guys up for it?
Absolutely.
Come on, let's get pumped, guys. Come on. Let's hear a little bit.
Jerry.
Gonna pump you up.
Yeah, there we go. All right. See, now we're good. Yay! Okay, we're going to talk about something fun here because we're going to talk about California. California Democrats send the Glock ban bill to the Senate floor. This is from BearingArms.com. Cam Edwards this morning at 10:01 a.m. And the article says California Senate could vote as early as this week on a bill that would ban the sale of all Glock handguns in the state. While newer Gen 4 and Gen 5 models of Glock are already prohibited for sale, just like virtually every other semi-automatic handgun has come on the market since California passed its law requiring microstamping technology in order to be eligible for the state's handgun roster, older models are still legal to purchase and possess. That could soon change, though, after the Senate Appropriations Committee gave its stamp of approval to AB 1127 late last week. As the Firearms Policy Coalition pointed out, though, the committee did make one change to the bill before passing it out to the floor. And I'm not going to read that entire thing, but that last highlighted paragraph 9 says, the sale of a machine gun convertible pistol to an individual who is an active peace officer described in Section 830.1 or a reserve peace officer described in Section 830.6 who is employed or appointed by a law enforcement agency described in Section 830.1 and is authorized to carry a firearm on duty. Backdoor Trots is out there, by the way. Guess who that is? So the article goes on to say, anti-gunners routinely exempt law enforcement from the gun control laws they're tasked with enforcing. So on the one hand, this isn't a big surprise. Still, from a logical perspective, I know, since when was gun control about logic? This makes no sense whatsoever. The stated rationale behind the Glock ban bill is that these firearms are readily converted to full auto fire, which makes them too dangerous to be on the market. Even if police officers aren't as likely to break federal law by illegally installing a switch as your garden variety gangbanger, this exemption still allows more Glocks to be sold, firearms that could end up on the black market through theft or personal sales by those officers. There have been multiple LEOs in California who've been convicted of or pled guilty to being engaged in the business of dealing firearms without a license for repeatedly buying off-roster guns and selling them in personal sales. Banning the commercial sale of Glocks while exempting police from private transfers is going to be very enticing to some cops looking to make some easy money. Artak and daughters out there also. Even if the bill doesn't fuel a boom in private transfers, the fact that police can still purchase Glocks means that the guns will continue to be found at many local gun stores, where they could enter the black market through theft. Gun shop burglars are pretty brazen these days, often ramming stolen cars through the front door or windows of shops, and then quickly taking off in a second stolen vehicle. Even if the perpetrators are identified, stolen guns aren't always recovered, so AB 1127 will likely lead to more Glocks ending up in the hands of criminals, especially since California Democrats are intent on making the firearm legally and culturally taboo. I think this bill is unconstitutional regardless of whether law enforcement is exempted, but allowing some Glocks to be sold to some Californians defeats the bill's stated purpose. So what's this really about? Instead of trying to ban all handguns all at once, the gun control lobby is now intent on enacting a prohibition piece by piece. Today, it's Glock. Tomorrow, it might be SIG or Beretta or CAR. And if federal courts uphold these BS gun rosters, blue states could prohibit the sale of the vast majority of firearms on the market by claiming they're unsafe under subjectively imposed standards. AB 1127 will face a flurry of legal challenges if Gavin Newsom signs it into law, which I suspect he will. Newsom has been cosplaying as a gun owner for a few months now, but he's not about to risk the ire of the gun control lobby when he's planning a presidential run in 2028. I expect Newsom to argue that a Glock ban is just a common sense gun safety regulation, while completely ignoring the law enforcement loophole that undermines the bill's bogus premise. All right. What do you think of that? What do you think of them apples?
California being California.
California. Isn't that crazy?
I got a little lost there with all the talk about the LEOs that, go and buy off roster handguns and then private sale and stuff like that. So that wasn't California's talking, that was Cam Edwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is what I hate about any supposed journalists bringing up other crap. Like, I understand the point he's making, but let's just stick to the facts of what we're talking about here and not muddy it, because I got a little just slightly confused where I was thinking, like, hold on, is California saying this? Like,
well, he did show that somebody was wanting to amend the bill to include a paragraph that would prohibit law enforcement officers from getting them also. So evidently it's not just him that thinks it's a loophole.
That's what I thought. That's why I was confused, because that has been an issue in the past with California, where LEOs take full advantage of that, and not only do they take full advantage of it, but then they mark the guns up something fierce because they know they can, because people want them. But once they have been purchased and are in the state, they're fair game. So if it's off roster and it costs the officer, plus you figure he's getting an LEO discount. So, let's say it costs him $400 or $500, but these officers are selling them for $2,000 plus sometimes. And that's not a made up number. one of the officers that was caught doing this, that was in the article that I had read. If you ask me to cite what article, I'm not going to be able to friggin' do it. It was a while ago. If I have to go back and find it for anybody, I will start friggin' hunting. But it's amazing what people out there were willing to pay for these off-roster handguns in the first place. So the big thing is, so again, like they're saying, we're going to try and get rid of all the Glocks because they don't have micro-stamping technology, right?
Well, now it's because
the main thing they're worried about is because the availability of switches for them to convert them to full auto.
Yeah, the ability to convert them to full auto is what they're bitching about now.
Gotcha.
I want to say hello to a couple of people real quick.
Well, then,
Kyle Lusk is out there. The Gun Snob has joined us. And over on the Twitch side, a friend of mine from Twitch, Davis Deli, is out there. So welcome. He's from California. So he's from Los Angeles, as a matter of fact. So also Gunpowder Beauty has joined us. Gerald Muir is also out there. So we got people piling in, and I'm sorry. Go ahead, Guns and Barbecue.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just going to ask, then why did they start off talking about the microstamping?
Well, they were explaining why the Glock 4 and 5 aren't legal in California.
Oh, okay. This is one of those articles where I can't be doing multiple things at once and listening to it because, like, if I was listening to this being played through my phone or something, and I heard all that, I'd be like, what the frick? And I'd end up listening to it like 3 times to really make sure I got all the information correct. So I was just like, so many different things happening in this article.
But I guess the gist of it is if they're so worried about, these guns that can be converted to full auto, then shouldn't they go ahead and change that rule to keep law enforcement from getting hold of them too if they're that dangerous? And if they aren't, isn't that really telling that it's not about that at all? Which I think was Cam's point, is they're not really worried about, them getting out there and hurting somebody. They're more worried about just taking guns away from the people if they're not worried about law enforcement having them.
Well, they're not worried about law enforcement having them because that would undermine this idea that law enforcement are so well trained and the only persons that should be having firearms and et cetera, that goes along with their talking points about gun control, because they can't convince people to just give up all the guns but not have anybody be protecting them. Now we know that the Supreme Court said, hey, police have no duty to protect you. But there's way too many people that still live in that fantasy land that believe that police do have a duty to protect you. And as long as they believe that, they have to believe that police are able to have all the guns. So if you sit there and go, oh, nope, law enforcement can't be trusted with these either, well, that then puts a dent in their narrative, and they can't have that.
So Denny's plant-based journey is out there. He says, yep, not about safety or danger, but it's about control. Scott Naring says, I think Gavin will go down as the most overturned governor. And we have a sighting out there, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the chat. The Mr. Wonderful, Mario Mosen out there. So everybody get ready. In 3, 2, 1. Hi.
Rich didn't do it.
Yes, I
Coast
did.
Weirdo.
I didn't hear you.
I did it.
Good to see you, Mario.
Yes, sir.
Looky there, Kyle even put the hey out there, and so did our Tech and Daughters. Yeah, these guys get it. Okay.
I believe Mr. Mosen's on a trip right now, if I remember correctly.
Kyle Lusk says, "Well trained, ha ha ha. Give a lot of those guys a roll of quarters and send them to an arcade. That'd be fun."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heck yeah. Kyle with the West Coast weirdo. Mario says, "What's up, my peoples? Man, this is it so far." So, Rich, what do you think about that article?
Like I said, it's
Come on,
California being California.
Come on.
I'm not the least bit surprised. I mean, it's California. I mean, they do that kind of thing out there.
Now, TJ Fishing says a semi-auto rifle is more dangerous than a full auto. Agree or disagree?
It's more accurate.
Depends on the situation.
More accurate. Likely to, consuming ammo means it'd probably be more judiciously aimed versus just sprayed out there.
Like I said, it depends on the situation. I mean, if you're just going into a giant crowd of people to just lay down rounds, full auto is going to be way worse. But if you're looking to be accurate and precise and just just the whole talking point just the more I'm going on, it's just my brain's like, ugh, this is disgusting.
It's all right.
It's entirely dependent on the situation. As a whole,
it's subjective.
I'd say as a whole, semi-auto typically would be more deadly.
So Eggeriser's out there saying hey to Mario. Artex says full semi-auto only. Kyle Lusk says evil is evil, end of convo, no matter what you use. That's true. Very true. All right. So we've got 28 people out there in the audience. Wow. Just wow. And only 11 entries in the giveaway. These people don't want free stuff.
What?
You can enter on Twitch. You can enter on YouTube. Exclamation FT325 to enter the giveaway.
It's a shame telegrams aren't a thing anymore. They could enter by telegram. But, Western Union, I don't think, does that anymore. So.
Western Union? Yeah. So anyway, well, if they don't want free stuff,
know where to find a Western Union anymore.
Here, I just try to give stuff away. We've got some free stuff even coming from Aegis Gun Care. You've heard of these people, right? The good folks at Aegis Gun Care? Yeah.
Once or twice?
Yeah.
But tell me more.
Well, man, what can I tell you about them? They are, they just have the best gun cleaning stuff. The oil is good. It's probably good for toast flavoring too. I don't know. I've heard that. I wouldn't try it personally, but Aegis protects. That's what I hear.
Really?
That's what I hear. They protect. So whatever you got, they'll protect you. So if you got anything that's seized up, they could probably free it up for you or keep it from getting seized. Agrizer says, I don't want to get in the way of someone who hasn't won yet. If they don't enter, they can't win. See, that's the way that is out there.
What number show is this, anyways?
Look at that. I got some hype emotes from Davis Deli out there over on the Twitch side. Wow. Very nice, my friend.
And Denny's out there on the YouTube side talking about the idiotic comment from the mayor.
The crazy comments from politicians make me laugh, like that one. Artac and Daughters full of semi-auto, or like the one last week when not only can an AR fire a magazine, it can fire 2 30-round clips. Wow.
It fires 30 clips from a magazine is what he said.
I'm
30
just reading
clips
what's
from a
on here.
magazine. I know. I'm just no, yeah. What the politician actually said, it was the mayor of Minneapolis. I can't remember his name right now, but
Oh,
Oh,
big
you
surprise
don't
there.
need to say anything.
Big freaking surprise there.
Yeah, Minneapolis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob S. is out there, by
30
the
clips
way.
from a magazine is what he said. Yep. And
Scott
then the
Naring.
next day he apologized saying he doesn't know anything about guns. So I was shocked he apologized.
Scott Naring says, I just got the coolest thing in the last tack pack. It's a cleaning puller that is retractable like a dog leash. Ooh, that could be pretty cool. Denny said he referenced the speed too, if I recall. Agorizer says, ha ha, everyone knows the proper term is clipazine. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
A guy that comments is out there. Nothing better on Labor Day than free labor. Absolutely, man.
And don't forget the thing that goes up.
Kyle wants to know, can I enter the giveaway on Mario's behalf? Man, that's up to you. Okay.
Why the hell?
Why the hell do we have a 2A is blind out here? How many different
I don't know.
How many
because-
different accounts are you gonna enter this giveaway on?
No, seriously, I am logged in under my Guns and Barbecue account and YouTube, and it keeps commenting everything as my 2A is blind account, and I do not understand why.
I don't know.
Didn't Snob have a similar issue to that a while back?
Yeah, Snob can't decide whether he's gonna be Kent Nelson or
Yeah,
whatever.
and I can hit switch accounts, and it won't switch accounts.
Wow, I just got raided over on Twitch. Wow. Blue and Queso is out there. Hide your meats. Yeah. Heck of a deal.
Oh, I lied. It might have just done it finally.
Well, got a comment. His comment out there. His wife brought new meaning to the word Labor Day. She went into labor today. Well,
Celebrated Labor Day at the hospital because my wife went into labor. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Heck yeah. Denny says, I get that from time to time. It'll switch me to my other account. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's been doing this to me a lot, although it finally let me go to my Guns and Barbecue account now.
Scott Naring says, I tried to change my name, but YouTube keeps showing Scott.
Did you try doing it under your Google profile?
I don't know. Arby's Commandos. Wow.
I think you usually have to do it under your Google profile, I think.
Yeah, the gun snob says, yeah, I had that happen and it finally just fixed itself. Okay.
Yeah, it's been doing it for like a week.
So anyway, yeah, all of a sudden we got 18 entries in that giveaway, including one over on the Twitch side anyway. Thanks to Jacob. Big surprise. Denny says North Carolina is just falling apart. TCU is killing them. Wow. Now that's true. Backdoor Trots is out there. He says, I know a little about changing my YouTube name. There you go. He changes his about every 2 or 3 days. So if you want to know how to change your name,
that's the guy.
Hold a boomstick out there.
Yeah, him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, different name every chat. Scott says, I'm going to wait till I get moved because I have to come up with a new name. Well, I haven't changed not on this channel. I haven't changed the name in 7 years. So I don't know what I'd change it to at this point.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, oh. Okay, never mind. Just had somebody who is going to be on the panel tonight just sent me a text saying he wouldn't be here. So, real quick. real quick because I think we got a little bit of time. We got time. We got more time than we do money, don't we?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Say yes, Mr. Gizzard. There you go. All right. The massacre we should be learning from right now is the name of this article. And this is from Tom Knighton. And the article reads, as I examine historic massacres, I do so with an eye toward what we can learn from them today. More accurately, what some parties can learn from them. Most won't get the lesson, but it's important to try. Today, just days after the tragedy in Minneapolis, I do so again, but this time with a specific comparison that many people would do well to remember. A person armed with an AR-15 shot through windows and walls during morning mass seeking to kill and injure as many people as possible on Wednesday. He killed 2 and wounded 17 before taking his own life. If only he'd started with that, then moved on from there. Regardless, many are focused on the AR-15. Yet in 2007, the worst school shooting massacre in this nation's history took place in Virginia on the campus of Virginia Tech. The killer murdered 32 people and shot 17 others. 6 additional people were injured when they tried to escape through windows. As terrible as Minneapolis is, I think we can all agree that Virginia Tech was far more bloody. The killer, who took his own life after this atrocity, was found by police with 203 rounds remaining. Clearly, this illustrates the need for an assault weapon ban, right? Well, except for the fact that the killer used a couple of handguns. The gunman had a Walther P22 and a Glock 19. He had nothing that was illegal and had followed all relevant laws in obtaining them, even Virginia's gun rationing law that was in effect at the time. Instead of it stopping him, he simply waited until he could get the second handgun. It wasn't a big deal for him, not in the least. See, no matter what roadblocks you put in place, someone will find a way around them. Columbine, which sparked the modern notion of mass shootings, took place during the 1994 assault weapon ban. That they didn't blink. This killer didn't stumble when faced with gun rationing. He didn't stumble with any of the laws that were intended to keep those students safe. While some resisted, such as Air Force ROTC cadet Matthew Laporte, who tried to tackle the killer and was shot 7 times, none had the means to resist effectively. Holocaust survivor Liviu Librescu held the door, keeping the killer at bay while his students escaped and was killed. These are acts of heroism, to be sure. I have no doubt that the Vikings would have celebrated such deeds as worthy of Valhalla, and I have no doubt that they are being honored in the afterlife for their sacrifices. But heroism, while great, only goes so far if the hero in question lacks the best tools for what he or she is trying to do. Such as in Minneapolis, those students and teachers were sitting ducks. They were a prime target, and their only real protection was some words on a piece of paper that said people couldn't do what the killers turned around and did. Words are not protection. Words are wonderful things, mind you. I'm someone who feeds my family by using them. But as a wordsmith, they may stir the soul and sparkle in the mind, but they cannot put a shield between people and hostility. They needed more than words that day in 2007, and they needed more than words on Wednesday morning. Words, though, can remind people of this fact. They can inform them. So here's hoping people learn the lessons of then, so we don't make stupid mistakes here and now. Thoughts on that? That's well said, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So first, I'm sick of this saying of, oh, if only the jerkwad would have started with himself and then continued on to there or anything like that. Like, we sit here and we preach about suicide awareness and all this happy horse shit, but then we're going to say shit like that. And I'm not saying anybody in this chat, but yeah, just as a community as a whole, you know, what if this person could have just gotten the help they needed in general? I'm not saying that, like, oh, you know, that their life was, you know, so valuable or anything. Like, they did a despicable fucking thing. But this idea that, we're just going to sit here and be like, oh, if they would have just fucking killed themselves, well, great. Like 2 out of 3 gun deaths are fucking suicide, and they get fucking used against us every fucking day by anti-gunners that want to take our guns.
Let's say hello to G-Webs.
Good evening. Thanks for hosting.
You betcha.
I'm taking the opposite position from whatever barbecue's saying.
It's usually a good idea.
It makes for more lively discussion. Yeah, that's for
It does.
A guy that comments says slavery was only outlawed 165 years ago. Turtles live longer than that, so don't listen to the nonsense that you don't need a gun. Okay. Danny says mental health needs and people caring about each other enough to recognize when others are hurting, recognizing the signs and speaking up to help. Scott Nary says everyone over at Bearing Arms are good. Agorizer says, can I wish that he was appendix carrying a 320? Wow. Wow, dude.
How do we change our icons on this one? What am I missing?
Under settings, on the right hand side there, the gear if you're on a computer.
Okay, thanks.
Rich, any thoughts on that article? Love it? Hate it? Did you listen?
Yeah, I listened. You brought up Columbine. I was in basic training when Columbine happened. I heard about it because every Sunday before church services, the chaplain's assistant would come in and he would read us news stories out of the newspapers, the national and local newspaper. And Columbine's one of the stories that he read to us while we were basic training.
So let's see. Scott Nary says the problem with mental health is it has such a bad stigma that everyone is afraid to ask for help.
I don't really buy that one either. We're at a point in our country today where mental health facilities are readily available, and as a whole, it's a pretty mainstream thing. I mean, is there some stigma to it? Yes. In the 2A community, gun community, more so. That's why we're trying to work harder to be like, hey, no, this isn't a problem. Like, you can get help and you're not going to lose your rights, all that. But just as a whole in the country, I don't really think there's much of a stigma as much anymore.
A lot of insurance doesn't cover mental health.
There's a problem there. I also think there's a problem with how they treat mental health in this country. I like to use the analogy. It's like going to the ER and they're like, what's the matter with you? And you're like, I cut off my leg with a chainsaw. And they're like, here's some painkillers. Enjoy. And you're like, oh, okay. But what about this leg that could be sewn on? They're like, here, just have the painkillers. It's not about getting down to the root of what's causing your depression or anxiety or whatever disorder you're dealing with. They just throw medication at you.
Well, all right. So you're acting like the opposite of that is all they got to do is give you a pill or something. Like the cure is they have the cure in their pocket and they're not handing it out for some reason. The reason that it's a situation that it is because the causes or the whatever you would call the mitigating circumstances for mental health issues that get crazy, that get to a dramatic point, are varied and massive and what's the word, like ingrained in people's lives. What's a medical professional or law enforcement or anybody else going to do to wave some kind of magic wand to fix that? A broken arm, you can put it in a cast. Like a broken eyeball, like, I don't know, a poked eyeball, like you can do something about that. Bleeding gizzard, you can put a cotton on that, right? So I'm just trying to come up with things. But going back to stigma, dude, come on. You drove a truck. If you went and were at a job and they said, oh, that guy has mental health issues. Yeah, let's put him on the desk. He's not driving a truck no more. Like, boom, right there. Cops, like, oh, that guy's got mental issues. He's riding a desk. Right, boom, issue right there. Military, like, oh, that guy's got mental health. He's riding a desk. And people that are doing jobs that have, I mean, firefighters, go down the list. Anything that has testosterone, riding big equipment, he's got his stress at home, he's riding a desk. So that's not a stigma that people are scared or that it's like not accessible. It's that it's bullshit to suggest that mental health is like some fixable just on-off switch that we just for some reason they won't let us flip the switch. It's a massively complicated thing that isn't curable in any kind of time frame or nothing, and that's why the politicians, the people that want to keep us messing with each other, are using it. That's why they're rubbing their foot in that wound, because they know there's very difficult for us to be able to do something about it. But I don't think it's impossible. But I'm just clarifying that it's a very deep whatever trench that we're not like a what's the word, like it's it's a path that's been there for so long that it's a groove that's going to take us a while to get out of that groove. We can get out of it. We did it with drunk driving. I'll just leave it there.
I would just like to make clear, I never said there wasn't any stigma. I just was saying there's not a stigma like there used to be.
I'm just clarifying that I know what you're saying, like in society, but I'm saying there's chunks of it where it's massively still there. It's a massive wall that if it even comes around, like suspicion of it, then there's could be issues and stuff. Pilots, right? Somebody driving a boat or something, a school bus driver. I mean, think about it. Like there's so many professions that you have to be perfect all the fucking time or you're out of here. There's somebody waiting for your job. Like that can be tough. And that alone, I'm sure, can cause stress. You don't know what the life of a content creator. If I don't get a perfect video out there, it's horrible for me. Horrible for me.
Real quick, I want to go back to comment Agorizer made. He was talking about the red flag laws in Minnesota, and that if somebody would have done something using that, what good are they? And then he says about his mom. It was reported today that his mother doesn't live in Minnesota and hasn't for the past 3 years since she retired, that she moved to Florida and no longer had contact with him or his father. So just wanted to put that out there. So I don't know how many people had seen that report or not, but yeah, apparently the mother has been getting jumped on by people online, and she may just be an innocent party in all this.
Now, the gun snob said, to play devil's advocate, what if it was legal to off yourself? Who does it hurt, truthfully, other than your loved ones? Would it lessen the amount of people using firearms or death by cop, etc.?
Honestly,
that would be more like somebody who's like kind of like illness or something, like like an incurable something, and they don't want to hit the bad parts of that, maybe. But if you're talking suicides, preventing suicides, that's I think more like somebody gets drunk, somebody takes a bunch of pills, and then they make a bad decision. I don't know. I'm just saying that I think they're different. I don't think you plan out. I mean, I'm not saying nobody does, but I'm saying I think often suicide's rash, where people that plan out stuff. I think that's more like, with the church or with your family or both, and then like, you know what I mean, like in a way that. Anyway, I think people plan that a lot more.
Now, Alex Parlin says, the challenge is people who need the help don't think they need help, and the laws don't allow those people to be committed. Mr. Bob says,
when you're talking about any kind of health, there's anytime you put like Halloween candy out, there's somebody's going to come along and take a handful, and somebody's going to, so some people are going to take one piece, and then some people are going to take a handful. Somebody's going to empty the bowl. Attach that to anything that happens out there that you try to help people with.
And I could be wrong about this, but most every state has a mental health check system in place where if you believe somebody's having a mental health issue, you can call and have a mental health check done on them. Like here in Pennsylvania, you can call and say, "Hey, I believe this person's having a mental health issue," and it's not a red flag or anything. It's not a red flag order. We don't have red flag laws in PA or anything like that. This has been in place long before red flag laws were ever a thing. And what will happen is they will send out a social worker, somebody who's actually trained to deal with mental health, and they're going to knock upon your door and say, "Hey, we received a report that you might be having some problems right now," and you can just shut the door in their face. A lot of people will just, engage with them because that's what people do. They'll engage, and then next thing you know, you're in a conversation with one of these people, and through that conversation, this mental health professional will, they'll ask a series of questions, whatever the hell they ask, I don't know. And then they will determine, like, hey, like, really think you should go in to the ER, get evaluated further, et cetera, et cetera. And if they've made that determination and you say no, what they will do after that is they will go and say it's 3 a.m. They will go and they will wake up a judge and tell a judge, "Hey, so this is what's going on after talking to this person for so long, et cetera, et cetera. I believe they need to go to be evaluated further, et cetera, et cetera." And a judge will determine whether they want to sign off on a warrant to have you taken in. At that point, they'll go back to your door and say, "Hey, so here's a warrant for you to go and be evaluated further. Now we can have an ambulance come pick you up, or we can have the state police, or whatever the jurisdiction is that would preside over your municipal area." And then that municipality would come pick you up and take you to the hospital, at which point you'd be evaluated further. And say at the hospital, they're like, after evaluating you, "We think you're good." Well, then fine. You're good, and all this was for naught, and shit happened. Let's say you get to the hospital and they're like, "Hey, guess what? You know what? We evaluated you, and we really think like you're at risk, and you are, and you need a 72-hour commitment." And then they tell you, like, "So here are your options. You can voluntarily commit yourself, at which point you don't lose any of your rights, or you can refuse, and that will go down as an involuntary commitment, and you'll lose rights." And then it's just, like, what stubborn route do you want to take? And then, but there's a lot of states that have stuff like that in place.
Real quick, I want to shout out gun websites for purchasing 5 Gizzard Gary gift memberships. Thank you very much.
What?
And so, receiving a gift membership is Ozzy Osbourne, Mr. Bob Dabalina, also Smoking Joe, Gunpowder Beauty, and Nutty 357.
I feel like I just picked the perfect dodgeball team right there.
I think you did.
Girls can't play dodgeball. Oh, wait. That's the girl in that dodgeball movie was a lesbian. Never mind.
M. Gabriel is out there also. All right. So, anyone else got comments? Rich, you're being awful quiet tonight.
Huh?
You awake?
What?
Huh?
Are the
Somebody
drugs wearing
say
off yet?
something? Huh?
Alien.
Oh, what? Leave me alone.
Okay.
No. What? That was the question.
I ain't repeating it all. You gotta pay attention, man.
No, I'm paying attention. I mean, basically 50-50 with barbecue and G-Webs. They both bring up really good points on the matter. So,
Way to straddle the fence.
Not always straddling.
A guy that comments says, it's funny how the inmates are running the asylum. A kid never understood the saying, as I got older. It totally applies.
I mean, do we want a government that keeps track of all the people that are having issues? Or do we like license that to something? I mean, sometimes the fire department is licensed to volunteers and stuff. Like, I would think there'd be enough people that care about other people and are just good, you know, for religious reasons, just whatever reasons. And then why not let those people get together, give them like free, tax-free ability to do it or something, or give them some land or something, and then, you know, allow them to help people. And then, you know what I mean, the government doesn't have to do it. It gets done. I think that's what the problem is, that we used to just take all those people and go, hey, you're broke, so you're fucked up. We're putting you in a hole, and we're going to hire people that are willing to take care of, quote unquote, take care of you, when really all they were doing is being mean to those people, probably. Either, right, ignoring them or being mean to them. So that was not healthy. And once people figured out that was happening, they were like, hey, let's stop that. And then when you stop that, then people are just walking around the streets, same problems. I mean, it's not like there's not broken people. So I just think that, again, it's a sore that all societies have. It's just that some societies are cruel and like kill those people. Other societies put them in a hole and ignore them. And we didn't. And now we don't know. And nobody gives a shit. Like, nobody's actually trying. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody, but very few people are having any momentum on doing anything with this, right? Like, there's no national level media that pays attention to anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? I mean, for all the bitching that they do about, like, we don't care, the people we don't like don't care. Well, what the fuck are you doing about it? Like, nobody's doing anything about this, I don't think, in any real way.
Yeah, they give people medicine, send them out on the streets, and then people might take the medicine for a little bit, decide the medicine makes something, they don't like the medicine, the effects it has on them. They stop taking it, and they get worse again.
And what happens 5 minutes after somebody decides or gets fed fentanyl, right? Like, well, I'll try fentanyl, see if that helps. Like, and then, or like, here, do this.
Mm-hmm.
This. Oh, no, it's fentanyl. Oh, shit, no, I'm on fentanyl. I mean, that can't be good for anybody.
Also, I would like to say on my comments earlier on, like, medication, all that, like, I realize some people do need medication.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe the mental health system as a whole is over medicating, when some people just need to, talk and figure out, like, the root of what's going on.
So, I think if there was, like, let's say community gardens, because I think that's a cool thing. Like, all you got to do is take and make a tax break for property owners to have a community garden. So say, hey, if you got a community garden in these circumstances, then you've got a piece of property that's a tax break, because nobody owns pieces of property in the middle of nowhere, ghetto, unless they own a shit ton of property. So they're just sitting there waiting for that, that community to change to where they can put up apartments or something, right? So you're giving them an incentive to make a community garden. And then again, like, you just tell people, hey, if you want to work in this community garden, as long as you're not a pervert or fucking weird or whatever, then, now you get a tax break or something. So now there's an incentive for you to go work there, or at least the ability to go work there if you don't have to pay taxes or something. And then people are getting fed. People are seeing that other people give a shit about them. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that puts life back in a community. And then change that to, like, stuff like crutches for old people, or food for kids, or whatever it is, like food for homeless people, like whatever the whatever you want to say, like, good work being done. You just let that good work be done, and let the people trying to do the good work alone. And then maybe, I guess, because it's a big country, you got to monitor to make sure it's not like perverts and weirdos and that kind of shit out there. But aside from that, like, I think that's the end. That's a solution. I don't know if it's the solution, but I think that's a solution. And isn't that the 1,000 points of light concept from Bush 1? Or was that Bush 2?
That was 1.
Okay.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That was a long ass time ago. I was a little kid too, but that was his deal. It was like a Republican deal. Like, instead of the government doing all this shit and making big bureaucratic government, like, the theory is great. Like communism is awesome. Like the government will just do everything for everybody. But the problem is the people that get into the government roles to do that are assholes, and they will just sit there and watch the people suffer and suck all the money that was supposed to be going to the people. And you end up spending all your time policing the bureaucracy like we're doing now. So instead of the bureaucracy trying to do it, you just let the people who actually give a shit about people to go do it, and you just get off their fucking backs to give them a chance to be able to do it. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what Bush was doing, but that's what I think would be a solution. Because I seriously think there's a lot of people that care about other people, and as soon as they seem like, oh, like a bread kitchen worked there, like I like making bread, let's try a bread kitchen here, or fill in the blank with whatever the fuck it is that people like. Oh, I like making cheese, and they made cheese in Wisconsin, like let's try making cheese in Ohio. I think that's legal.
We should all drink chocolate milk.
I'm drinking chocolate milk right now.
Let's see. Agorizer says, what complicity does social media have? They will nuke a 2A channel in 2 seconds if they show a gun, but loonies ranting online about doing a mass pew go unnoticed.
No, it's not just.
Oh, they?
True.
Yeah, but it's not just loonies talking about mass shooting. There's all kinds of crazy people that say all kinds of crazy shit online.
And say they get noticed all the time, but you're gonna have ones that slip through the cracks. Just like how many times did Yankee do desk pops and never get dinged? And for the longest time, people were just like, "Is it because Yankee's camera's so bad?"
There was no law against doing desk pops back in the day. We just didn't do it because
No. It was after YouTube made their stuff where it was like, oh, you can't have the guns on camera, and Yankee was still doing desk pops, and his streams were getting pulled.
Just takes time for the language model to, one, be large enough to watch every show, and then two, get used to seeing all the different ways that somebody can hold a gun. But every day it gets better at seeing what a gun is.
So the only thing I was saying, like, it wasn't just a matter of they were targeting one thing, but then allowing these lunatics to just spout whatever they want. Like, those lunatics were getting reported by actual individuals constantly, but like anything, people just slip through the cracks. I mean, I remember the one time, this was back when my daughters were in like second grade and I think kindergarten. There was a report about somebody that was gonna, do a massacre at their school, and they were like, "Hey, no school tomorrow." Blah blah blah. State police are looking into it, and about 3 hours later, a new message went out after everything was looked into, and it turned out it was a different school district, like 3 states away, just the school had the same name. Like these things, when people are posting them, are being reported. It's not like they fly under the radar.
Yeah, I think what Agorazer's point was, though, that if you do something with a 2A channel, their algorithm picks up on it right away on YouTube. The guy in Minneapolis, he put his video manifesto on YouTube, and YouTube's algorithm never picked up on it.
But the other thing is, I have no idea what the video manifesto consisted of or anything like that.
Yeah, was it live, and was it involving holding a gun? Because
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't live. Wasn't holding a gun live.
Right.
So
I'm just playing devil's advocate about what his point was.
Which
At
I
the end
think
of the
it's
day,
just apples and oranges then, because one is First Amendment, like you can't talk because we already can't talk about the S word, I guess, or other words you're not supposed to say, I guess, live, and that's lame. But you know what I mean? That's First Amendment, Second Amendment, apples and oranges. I think a little bit. One you can see because we can talk about guns all we want. They're just for whatever reason decided, hey, we can make a logarithm because of that. Smarter Everyday guy came up with that logarithm, and then YouTube either bought it or took it from him and said, oh, we can do this. They just haven't ever had anybody say, hey, we made a logarithm that listens to live streams or even listens to videos, and it listens for this set of, this pile of words. And if any of these combination of words, then we pull the video or tag it or for review or whatever. But I don't know, maybe they do that. I mean, how would we know? I mean, none of us are writing weird ass shit and putting it up there.
and I'm not watching anything like that either.
Right. Like to know that it didn't show up or yesterday it did type of shit,
Yeah.
Well, one thing you should pay attention to is the fact that Gear Websites is your source for every Second Matters gun channels, gear, ammo, ID, and more. They have patches, stickers, and other items, and every Friday is hashtag Free Patch Friday. So, lesson learned, buy cool stuff. Where? Why? At gearwebsites.com.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
Yeah, that's right. That's one thing you can rely on is GearWebsites.com. Pretty cool place. Another thing you can rely on, maybe, if I can find it, maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe it's this right.
Oh, who's the chicken that everyone loves? Gizzard Gary, who's 4'2" but stands above. Gizzard Gary, a ton of its wives and more to come. Gizzard Gary, who loves to give gifts to everyone. Gizzard Gary, Gizzard Gary, giveaway. Gizzard Gary, giveaway. Gizzard Gary, giveaway.
Hi, folks. Gizzard Gary here. All right.
I was distracted by all the dancing chickens, but it says in there likes to give gifts to everyone. Pretty sure that
Everyone. Not just certain people, everyone. That's what it says.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
This is remarkable.
eventually enough people win this giveaway, everybody will win something. So anyway, we're going to start with the official Gizzard Gary channel sticker. It is just about as big as my head. It's been said anyway.
Got a tiny head, though.
Well, that's true. We have the Fowl Territory thumbnail sticker, just to remind you of the show. And we have this sticker
How you gonna
from
fix that?
Live Free Armory, true American manufacturing. And I got
Kind of want the ninjas hats.
Well, I had to buy mine. They didn't give me one.
I say, I felt like I'm gonna have to go buy one, but I don't wear baseball caps. Is the problem? Except for like when I'm mowing and I have to wear over ear headphones because I still haven't gotten Ear Pro that just goes in my ear.
Okay, we have this sticker from Excess Sights. Yeah.
Well, that seems excessive.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. They got all kinds of different stuff out there.
That
And then from our good friend DM Foss, we have the Hell No Kitty sticker. We have the Armed Papa Smurf. And we have the Haterade Thirst Destroyer with the picture of Obi-Wan on there. So it'll destroy your thirst, man. We also have the Sarge and In Charge sticker. Don't mess with Sarge now.
I need that one.
We also have the Snobby's Dairy, straight from the bowl.
And that one.
And
Really?
let's not forget the Gizzard Gary, the new Gizzard Gary sticker. Yeah. Okay, and we got a couple more. We have this rooster one that was provided by a squib load. Came all the way from the 50th state of Hawaii. So it's an exotic sticker. William Hall wants to know, are those patches covered under the NFA and subject to a tax stamp? They are not. We also have this sticker from Stroop Knives. And you're going to get a Ron Wayne sticker as soon as I can find where mine are. I promise you are. But we do have a few patches for you. First, you're going to get this patch from Keltec. And then we have this one from Gun Owners of America. It is the One in the Chamber patch. And that is from Goals this year, courtesy of Ron Wayne.
I like that.
And then this is from last year's NRA. This is the Olight NRA Texas 2024 patch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that one too.
We had to go in the vault and get that bad boy.
That is sweet.
And the winner, of course, is going to get the official Gizzard Gary pin. You can pin this to your hat. You can pin it to your shirt, to your jean jacket, maybe even your cat. But it might injure the cat. So I'm not
My cat
responsible
has
for
it coming.
any injuries. Not responsible. Now, it is holiday time, and I know a lot of you probably had people over and you ran into that problem. Well, all these people have drinks and they're going to leave rings on my end tables and stuff like that. Well, next time, don't let that happen to you. You're going to get the full complement of coasters, courtesy of EAA.
No.
A full set of 7, because that is a perfect number of coasters to have for any occasion. It's a well-known fact. So,
How many of those things do you have left?
not a whole lot. I think like half a dozen or so.
Oh,
So, yeah, those are going to be in short supply pretty soon. Might have to break them down and give individual coasters away. Hate to do that, though. But, yeah, and don't forget, thanks to our sponsor, Aegis Gun Care. Let's see. What is it this week? Does anybody remember? Is it cleaner and lubricant combo?
I believe it was 1 pound of solid gold this week.
Folks, this week with Aegis Gun Care, you will win whatever the heck they send you when you get it in the mail. Congratulations.
I believe this is an odd number of shows, so I do believe. Yeah.
It is an odd number.
The cleaning.
Does that make it the
cleaner
trifecta?
and lubricant was last week.
What's that?
Since it's a odd number, does that make it the trifecta?
Well, I was trying to hear what Rich said. He's
That's the cleaner and lubricant.
the cleaner and lubricant was last week. Well, this will be the trifecta then. But if I'm wrong, you'll get the other. But you're going to get something from Aegis Gun Care. So without further ado, let me get myself off full screen here, because it is time to go out there. We have 21 people entered in the giveaway. And at this point, I am going to close entries in the giveaway. All right. So I'm going to let Guns and Barbecue tell me when to pick a winner.
Normally I'll start from a ridiculous number and count you all the way down, but I'll just say do it now.
All right. Let's see who the winner is. It is Rich White. Wow.
I could see.
Can I redo
because
that?
Everybody else can't see from that angle, but I could see that Rich pointed at him right at the right time, so they set that up.
Uh-huh.
Rich White, are you here?
Yeah, I think so.
You nudged him under the table. I was wondering why that was.
Well, congratulations. George Cortez says #rigged.
I think it was more than nudging under the table.
I didn't want to say what was really going on underneath the table, but I know that Rich won because of it.
I'm going to say Now we know what is really going on with that wee hockey elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. Could be. Anyway, everybody put a congrats out there for Rich and go to his channel and subscribe and give him all kinds of heck on his videos and stuff like that. That's the best way to get back to him for winning the giveaway. So,
You could go subscribe to him as he's on his way to 500 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
He's at like 4.25.
I think it was 427 as of last night.
See?
Damn many. All right, so real quick.
I would like to get I would like to try to win these knives this century, Gary.
Okay. So it's time for our second favorite part of the show, and that is where you send your Gorn into gorn@gizzardgary.com, and I show it on a screen. So this is what we call Show Us Your Gorn. Gorn. That's pretty lame.
I've heard rumors on the streets that this segment is sponsored by Big Gorn, and you're in the pocket of Big Gorn.
Probably. That's not corn, though. That'd be Justin Grimm. Yeah.
It's made down in Siligorn Valley.
Yes, this show is sponsored by the dinosaur people from Star Trek.
There's a very popular new yard game called, what is that called?
Lawn darts?
No. Where they throw the beanbag, where they throw that beanbag into the hole?
Cornhole?
Gorn hole? Yes.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I feel like we should have a cornhole board made with a giant Gorn on it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Gary should do that and give it away.
And then you wing like beanbags looking like revolvers and pistols.
I got to ship
Yeah.
that thing. That's going to cost an arm and a leg to ship.
And have it made, handcrafted.
Yeah, have it handmade and then have it drop shipped.
Have it made by the Amish.
I'll give you $5 towards the shipping.
Yeah, it's going to cost more than $85. So we do have Gorn. Oh, we got lots of Gorn out here already. Wow.
Make the winner pay for shipping.
We
Make that a
have
stipulation.
Gorn
Like
and-
if you win, you got to pay for shipping.
Mm-hmm.
We have Gorn and not Gorn. Do you want me to show the not Gorn the last? Because you sent me the not Gorn.
Well, it literally says in the message, like, if you need to kill time, then you can show this, but you are under no obligation to show this because it's not Gorn. So,
That's
like,
all right.
if you got actual Gorn, show the Gorn.
Well, Boomstick sent me about 800 pictures here, so
Nice.
let's look at those.
I sent you 9.
How many did Jacob send?
I don't know. I ain't got there yet.
Well, that's not a denial that Jacob didn't send any, though.
Okay, so this is from Boomstick, and there's going to be several pictures here we're going to look at. So there's your first one.
That's pretty good with wood grips.
I like those grips. I'm actually watching on the desktop tonight.
Mag. Okay, and then we got a Marlin 3030 here.
Ooh. Let's say Gunpowder Beauty's out there, and he just made her lay an egg.
And then we've got a Winchester Model 70 in 223 WSSM.
By the way, that 3030 needs a scope.
Winchester Super Short Magnum.
Or Wussum.
Very much kick. Big kick.
Thompson Center Encore in 4570.
Big
Boom.
kick. Again.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say,
Fun.
speaking of something with a big kick.
Yeah.
He talk about kick.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a
There we
Thompson
go.
Center Encore in 308.
That I think is pretty neat. Both the
That just looks cool.
design and I like 308 a lot. I bet you it'd be fun to shoot that in a contender.
That's a
Or
that's a
center.
cool look.
Center.
That is a cool looking laminate wood on that.
It is. That's all in.
Reminds me of like Boba Fett for some reason.
Yeah, it does kind of have
What? That was it?
look of his armor.
Dang.
That was it. Yeah, he sent a second email, but it's got the same pictures in it. Let's see. Here's one that's got different pictures. Okay, so once again, boomstick. And now we have a Thompson Center Dimension in 204 Ruger.
Ooh. It's a hot little round.
And then we have a Taurus
20
Deputy 45.
204 Ruger is the name of the caliber?
That's
Yeah.
that's what
Well, I
it
don't
says.
even know that caliber then.
This 45 Colt, I know what that is. Then we have a Glock 31 and 357 SIG.
Is a Taurus Deputy new?
Come out about a year ago, I believe.
That's new. Green Glocks are more accurate than other Glocks, so
That's true.
well done.
Marlin 1895 and 4570.
That one's got a scope on it.
Excellent.
I like
Excellent.
irons on levers.
Then there's that Thompson Center Encore again for good measure. Okay.
Is Gun Snob still out there?
It's worth seeing again. I have not seen him in a while.
I hope he is. So he could see the proper way to have a lever
Yeah, he's
action.
out there. He's
Excellent.
out there.
He is out there. Okay, another one from Boomstick. So we're not done yet. Like I said, he sent us plenty this time. All right. So
He came prepared this week.
he did. So we're going to start off with the Bear Creek Arsenal in 5.56. Then we have, there's that Marlin 1895 and 4570. We're getting some repeats in here, by the way.
That's all right. That's the perfect one to repeat.
PSA AK9.
Side folder.
There's that Thompson Center Dimension in 204 Rigger again.
The only problem that I have with that AK is that it's a 9.
Bear Creek Arsenal, a 9mm. That's it on that one. And then we're going to go to Aussie. Aussie has sent us some Gorn, so let's take a look here.
Scott Naring is saying the 204 Ruger came out in the late 90s.
Oh, snap. Is it a rifle caliber normally, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
So Aussie says, new adaptable Cobra snakeskin inlay holster for a P365.
Nice.
Very classy. And then we have Justin Grimm. Wow. Okay. And it says, libs, but who's going to pick our crops for cheap? John Deere. Meet Juan Deere 4000. Wow.
It won't be too long before we do have robots doing stuff like that, though.
Oh, yeah.
They won't get tired. They don't get broken backs from bending over or whatever. They just make them short. And then they'll be, delicate with all the fruits and shit. Damn, they'll probably be way more efficient. Once you imagine having like a row of, just cut that robot off at the waist and have them on the front of a combine so that, they're using their eyeballs and their hands to grab all everything instead of just
lunch
funnels.
breaks or nothing, man. They
Yeah,
could
exactly.
They could work 24-hour days.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they wouldn't need to, but then you just unplug them and have them do something else, right? But yeah, I imagine it won't be too long because something like lettuce is super intensive too. Like people do that right now. I'll bet you they'll have robots before too long.
Juan Deere 4000. All right. Scott Naring says the 204 rigger came out in the late 90s. It came out when I worked at Jensen's.
You worked at Jensen's?
Is a barrel burner.
Really? I didn't know that. The big one or the one over on when they own the one on Pima? Or I mean, not Pima. When they own the range. Wait, did they own the range? I'm trying to remember now. Didn't they own the range up on Prince? Did you know the other
He
Scott?
said both.
He said both.
Did you work there when Scott worked there? The other Scott, I guess.
Gonna say he is Scott.
So that is Scott.
Now I know two Scotts that worked at Jensen's. Jensen's is it's a fucking house. Like it's just some guy's house. So very few houses in Arizona have a basement. This is a house with a basement, and then it's got a range in the basement, so you can like test the guns and stuff in the basement of this place. And Charles Heller does his CCW, or used to do his CCW classes and do the shooting part of it in the range downstairs. But it was like a house, and then they turned it into a store. You know how people would do. They made the front porch like the entry and everything, and then like the garage or something turned into like the warehousing, the shipping area. Anyway, it's a family-run shop, and it was a cool gun shop, man, all the way until the family sold it. But when I first moved out here, it was like an epic gun shop in the 90s, or I guess from the 60s or something. But really, really cool shop. One of those shops where it has, reloading and hunting stuff, used stuff, and all the new stuff. Big enough shop to have all the new stuff, and then holsters and stuff. So
He says it was Bob's house. He started it in 1962.
Yep. That's cool.
Anyway, let's go ahead. It's getting about that time. Let's go ahead and transition to the last segment of our show. Some people, probably their favorite, and that is, what did you learn? And on this segment, we ask each of our panelists what they learned during tonight's episode, and then we give them a chance to promote their channel or anything else they want to talk about. So start with Scott says, Bob helped develop the 338 Lapua. Okay. So
Jensen's
anyway,
is the West, aren't they? They brought in a whole shit ton of AKs and stuff. The story of that is crazy cool. Like the Jensen's is a pretty interesting company.
So Rich, tell us what you learned. It's not a trick question.
I know. I got to think because there's a few things.
Surely you learned something.
Yeah, California is going to California no matter what anybody else says.
Okay. So what have you got coming up?
Well, let's see. Got a new holster that I want to probably be doing a video on here in the near future. It's one of the more minimalist designs. This one's from DeSantis. Picked it up at Academy for like $35 yesterday. Or not yesterday, 2 days ago.
I may or may not have seen this already.
Yes, Gizzard may have gotten a sneak peek of what this holster looks like already.
Preview.
So anyway, have that. And then this week unloaded Sundays at 9 p.m. when I don't have to have eye surgery, other stuff.
Well, hopefully you don't have eye surgery every week. That could get old.
That would be horrible
And expensive.
Yes. Well, in that case, I just had the VA pay for it. So.
Oh, there you go.
Taxpayer pay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for being here as always. Let's go to Guns and Barbecue. What did you learn?
I learned that as long as you can get G-Webs and I on the panel, we can get Rich to be pretty well quiet.
That is true.
No, that doesn't always work.
So what have you got coming up? You going to do your normal Thursday show since we pretty much goaded you into it?
Yeah, I reckon so. That's the game plan.
Cool.
Other than that, not a whole lot.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for being here. Last but not
Thank you.
Last but not least, G-Webs. What did you learn this evening?
Well, aside from all that stuff about Jensen's, probably something from earlier in the show.
Okay.
The barbecue loves 9mm.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. That's my memory case.
So, you got anything coming up we need to know about?
No. Thanks for hosting, though. Appreciate it.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for being here. As for me, I will be on vacation starting tomorrow, which means we will not have a members only chat this week. So, I do believe next Monday is going to be kind of up in the air, but there's a possibility we will do Fowl Tour. It depends on what time I get home next Monday, because I'll probably be coming home Monday. So we will see on that. But anyway, no members only chat this week, so we will probably double up on the knife giveaway next week. So instead of giving away one knife, we'll give away two. We'll make up for it. We'll have two separate giveaways, so two separate people will win.
You should do 3.
Why 3?
3's a charm.
Or Three's Company or something like that.
Yeah.
Because Rich is never going to give his
on
one.
our door. We've been waiting for you. Nah. Anyway, so I would like to thank everybody for being here tonight. Everybody out there on YouTube, also the people who visited us on Facebook, x.com, and Twitch. Thank you all for being there. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks to everybody out there in the chat for contributing to the show. Thanks to the panel for your pertinent and frank discussion this evening. Very much appreciated. Special thanks to all the people who support me financially by YouTube memberships. I definitely do appreciate what each and every one of you do. It is a holiday weekend, so if anybody's going home tonight, tomorrow, whatever, hopefully if you're going home, you're already home by now. A lot of people are on vacation, so if you're on vacation, have fun wherever you're at. Be safe. And one more thing, very important that I need to tell you. Always remember that if anyone tries to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, give them the bird. This is Gizzard Gary, and we will see you next time. And I'm going to let my panel say goodbye before I hit the end button. So, panel, go!
Bye-bye.
Before I hit the end button?
Hasta la vista, baby.
El Wiedersehen.
I'll be back.
Arrivederci.